In Fyodor Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment, Dmitri Prokofych Razumikhin serves as a vital counterpoint to the novel's brooding protagonist, Rodion Romanovich Raskolnikov. A fellow former student and close friend of Raskolnikov, Razumikhin brings warmth, loyalty, and practical wisdom into an otherwise grim and psychologically intense narrative. His name, derived from the Russian word razum, meaning reason or intellect, is no accident. Razumikhin symbolizes the harmony between rational thought and moral conscience, a contrast to Raskolnikov's fractured psyche and dangerous ideological extremism. Through Razumikhin, Dostoevsky explores an alternate path to meaning, one rooted in empathy, hard work, and love, rather than suffering and pride. Narrative role. Razumikhin plays a significant narrative role as Raskolnikov's friend, confidant, and foil. From the moment he is introduced, Razumikhin brings a sense of vitality and optimism that cuts through the novel's otherwise heavy atmosphere. While he is not the intellectual equal of Raskolnikov in terms of abstract theorizing, he possesses a deeper emotional intelligence and moral intuition. Razumikhin is steadfastly loyal, often going out of his way to support Raskolnikov, even when his behavior becomes erratic and disturbing. When Raskolnikov falls ill after the murder, Razumikhin becomes his caretaker, purchasing medicine, arranging medical help, and comforting Raskolnikov's mother and sister. He remains by their side without seeking anything in return, embodying the essence of selfless friendship. His attachment to Dunya, Raskolnikov's sister, evolves into a sincere and respectful love, further solidifying his moral integrity and decency. Unlike other characters who attempt to influence Raskolnikov through fear, ideology, or manipulation, Razumikhin's influence is entirely human. He offers understanding, compassion, and loyalty, qualities that Dostoevsky holds in high regard. He never moralizes or imposes his views, but his consistent presence serves as a reminder of what Raskolnikov could have been had he chosen connection over isolation. Symbolic significance. Razumikhin is often seen as a symbolic representation of razum, reason. However, he is not a cold rationalist like Luzin, nor a detached intellectual like Raskolnikov. Instead, Razumikhin embodies a healthy, humanistic reason, the kind that coexists with emotional intelligence, ethical responsibility, and compassion. In this way, he offers a model of balanced rationality, a vision of what Raskolnikov's mind could look like if it were integrated and whole rather than divided by pride and ideology. His cheerful demeanor, resilience, and belief in honest labor contrast with Raskolnikov's existential despair. Where Raskolnikov theorizes about greatness through transgression, Razumikhin believes in achieving dignity through perseverance and decency. His practical, down-to-earth attitude toward life offers a quiet rebuttal to Raskolnikov's belief in extraordinary individuals being above the law. This makes Razumikhin a kind of moral barometer within the story. He is not perfect nor saintly like Sonia, but he is real, and his realism is grounded in an ethical approach to life. His character offers the reader a vision of normalcy, decency, and hope amidst the moral chaos that surrounds the other characters. One of the central dynamics in Crime and Punishment is the contrast between Raskolnikov and Razumikhin. They represent two diverging psychological paths. One leads toward alienation, guilt, and nihilism, the other toward connection, meaning, and stability. Both are young, intelligent, and living in poverty, yet their responses to hardship are markedly different. Their contrasting worldviews deepen the psychological and philosophical texture of the novel. Dostoevsky seems to suggest that Raskolnikov's crime is not inevitable, It is the result of a choice, a path taken. Razumikhin serves as evidence that an alternate choice exists, one where intellectual life does not require moral compromise, and where suffering need not lead to transgression. Broader implications. Razumikhin's developing romance with Dunya is handled with remarkable tenderness and subtlety. Unlike the calculating and manipulative Luzin or the domineering Svidrigailov, Razumikhin approaches Dunya with respect and genuine love. Their relationship adds a hopeful element to the novel's otherwise dark themes. It suggests that, amid suffering and despair, human connection and love can flourish. On a social level, Razumikhin bridges the gap between the chaos of the criminal world and the possibility of reintegration. At the novel's end, with Raskolnikov's confession and exile, Razumikhin remains behind with Dunya and Raskolnikov's mother, representing a continuity of care and human decency. He becomes, in a sense, the heir to the life that Raskolnikov could not live, a life rooted in love, reason, and moral clarity. Dostoevsky wrote Crime and Punishment during a time of ideological upheaval in Russia, when nihilism, utilitarianism, and radical political theories were gaining popularity. Raskolnikov is a product of this intellectual ferment. He embodies the dangers of abstract theorizing detached from moral responsibility. Razumikhin, in contrast, serves as Dostoevsky's answer to the age's intellectual crises. Through Razumikhin, Dostoevsky offers a vision of reason that is not corrosive or alienating but life-affirming. He does not deny the world's injustices or the reality of suffering, but he refuses to abandon morality in response to them. His integrity, emotional intelligence, and loyalty make him a model of ethical and philosophical moderation. He is neither a saint nor a martyr, but a fundamentally good man, an archetype that Dostoevsky clearly esteems. Conclusion. Dmitri Prokofych Razumikhin is often overshadowed by the psychological intensity of Raskolnikov or the saintly radiance of Sonia, but his role is no less vital. He is the novel's emotional and moral ballast, a figure of strength, stability, and hope. Razumikhin shows that it is possible to live ethically without retreating from the world, to face hardship without succumbing to despair, and to love others without needing to dominate or save them. In a narrative defined by crime, punishment, and a struggle for redemption, Razumikhin represents a quiet kind of victory, the victory of decency, rationality, and love. Dostoevsky, through Razumikhin, reminds readers that salvation is not found only in suffering or confession, but also in the simple acts of friendship, honesty, and unwavering humanity.